The other day, I was shooting some outdoor videos in my neighborhood in Queens, New York. And I saw a creative influencer, professional photographer, drone extraordinaire, and author whose work I truly respected. His name is familiar in the photography world. His name is Terrence CARNEY. From Brooklyn, New York. Now, in that brief connection, I decided to connect with him in a creative way. Hey, Terrence.
Hey, what's up?
Terrence CARNEY.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? What are you doing out here?
Just playing around. I mean, I just happened to be in the neighborhood, so I thought I would just.
Are you shooting? Shooting with your drone today?
Yeah, I got some famous guy who lives in this building.
Yeah.
You know,
that's great.
Yeah. So I'll speak to you a little later on, though.
Okay,
right?
Terrence.
All right. See you later.
How many books do you have out there now?
It's over 100.
Wow! Congratulations. I asked him if he would shoot and edit a few of my connection videos. And he told me he was busy, but he would contact me at the end of the following week. Well, I thought he was brushing me off in a friendly way, but he called and said that he had taken a look at my art of connection videos and would like to shoot the day in the life of a connection strategist series. Yeah, he would like to do a series like that, a day in the life. And I worked on developing a storyboard agenda for a few hours that night, and I sent it to him to prove to him that I was also a professional and serious about his generous offer. So he didn't ask about the budget and didn't mention anything about payment. And I thought I would take him out to dinner at a nice restaurant afterwards to somehow pay him back for his time and expertise. So I played it by ear. The next day, Terrence arrived around 7:30 a.m. carrying 5 or 6 bags of equipment. So after we looked at my storyboards and my agenda, he started shooting me primping myself in the bathroom mirror. And then he asked me what I did next in the morning, and I told him that I do stretching exercises. And so he directed me where to sit on the floor and adjusted the lighting. And it was all natural lighting. And Terrence shots throughout the day were no longer than 2 to 3 minutes. And he moved very, very quickly. One shot at each location.
I don't know whether they will. They will.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see what we get. I'm ready.
Okay. Now, I always.
Okay. Now, when you're doing this, I probably would not talk at all.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't talk at all. You just do what you're doing, and voiceover will do all the talking you need.
Okay. All right. He's videoing. Yeah? By the end of the day, at 5 o'clock, I was exhausted, but he wasn't at all. I had such a feeling of accomplishment. The next day, my arms were sore because Terrence suggested that I keep the energy and the movement going so the drone could find me as I was demonstrating this exercise. So after returning from the power walk, I changed into my comfortable business clothes and which is like this, and prepared to do my desk work. Now I usually plan and write out my daily strategies the night before the next day, and I write out my connection strategies of what I will work on for the next day from morning to dinner time around 8 o'clock. And 8 and 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'll write and work, and my wife Patty and I get up about 5:30 in the morning. My clients often complain about not having time in which to create, and there's always time in which to create in the evening. So you have to bypass some of the other activities, such as you're playing on the computer or you're watching television. Let that stuff go. So I talked with one of my clients and creative individuals about ways to effectively use massive connection skills that improve business and creators towards a more quality type of life and enjoyment. So since I have a podcast called Side Hustle with Personality, I just could not let this Renaissance man, whom I compared to the likes of the 1960s Gordon Parks, leave without talking about the skill and the creativity in the world of professional photography and drone.
You were saying that when I called and asked you if you would do this project and the art of connecting, you said sure, I could do it. I was up all night working on another project. You shot, edited, and so forth. You do all this stuff to get videos, and you finished a book. So and you stayed up all night. So this energy still keeps you excited.
Being creative.
Like you when you were a kid.
Yeah, being creative is a wonderful thing because there's a lot of folks who just don't have it. They don't understand the beauty of being able to invent something. As kids invent all the time.
Yes.
And then things get squashed somewhere down the line. All of a sudden their talent for inventing, their curiosity of Well, my curiosity hasn't kind of dwindled, primarily because when I became a teacher some 20 some odd years ago, it got re-inspired and reinvented, simply because now I'm around the whole idea of education, which is more than just a little thing, more than just a little schoolhouse. It's a lot, and the fact that I can take what I was doing up to a whole nother level and experience a whole lot of things, and the other stuff come back to me. You know, it's kind of like that ebb and flow.
Yes.
You know, you give and you receive.
So you were before you were and still are professional photographer, making your living as a professional photographer.
I was. Yes.
And then you say, oh, okay, somebody says, can you teach?
No, well, that's not exactly the way it worked. What had happened was, I've forgotten what point in time, but the whole photography business started to really go downhill. You know.
And how long had you been in the professional photography business?
I don't remember, but it could have been, you know, at least 6 or 7 years. At
6 or 7 years.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, I was doing everything. I was in a number of studios, but you know, when you get to the point of being not an assistant, but being an actual photographer, you expect to get paid as an actual photographer.
Right.
But now, when the market, as you well know, when the market gets just inundated with photographers, and the quality of what clients expect. Now, we're not talking about across the board. We're talking about there are clients that will always expect the best, and you know who they are. And there's a whole lot of others that are just, give me a shot that looks decent that I can sell, because I'm trying to cut costs. That went up. And when that goes up, it means that, well, I don't have to hire the photographer for $500 a day when I can get one for $100 a day because he's hungry. And that's the way that was going. So it was very difficult to find, you know, employers that would actually pay you properly. And then, you know, something opened up. My wife, you know, had, you know, our 2 kids doing homeschooling, and homeschooling allowed her to also.
His name is Terrance Carney from Brooklyn, New York. Now,